There is a place where stars seem to touch the earth. It is a bridge suspended high above a valley filled with fog. The fog moves like a slow river. A silent white ocean of fog under a sky of diamond dust. This is where our journey begins. We are crossing from the hurried world into a land where time itself seems to slow down. The air grows cooler. The sounds of the city fade. A sense of peace begins to settle in. A quiet anticipation for what lies ahead in the heart of the Alps. As the first light of dawn begins to paint the sky, the landscape transforms. The deep blues and blacks of the night give way to soft, warm colors. Below the bridge, the sea of fog slowly parts, unveiling a kingdom of amber and gold. The forests are ablaze with autumn's fire. Every leaf seems to hold a little piece of the sun, glowing with an inner warmth. Our car winds its way down the mountain roads, each turn revealing another breathtaking scene. Larch trees stand like golden sentinels along the path. We pass by small waterfalls, their clear water tumbling over mossy rocks, their sound a soft whisper in the crisp air. Far in the distance, we catch our first glimpse of a cable car. It moves like a slow, deliberate pendulum against the vast mountain backdrop. Slowly, the first signs of village life appear. We see the distant shapes of wooden chalets nestled into the hillsides. A thin curl of smoke rises from a chimney, a welcoming signal against the cool morning sky. This is the world we have come to find, a world built on tradition, on a deep connection to the land. I have brought my family here, to this quiet corner of Switzerland. I want them to hear the stories the mountains tell. I want them to feel the warmth of a fireside and the magic of these golden trails. Our adventure is just beginning, a slow immersion into the heart of alpine life. This journey is not about grand destinations or ticking off a list of sights. It is about something much simpler, much quieter. It is a discovery of slowness, of paying attention to the small things. We have come here to listen. Whispers of wind through golden larches, soft chime of cowbells across a meadow, the warmth of a fire on a cold evening, the promise of alpine autumn, quiet moments that become family memories. Our time will follow the natural rhythm of the day. Our story unfolds in 3 parts, a simple, heartfelt tale, the wonder of arrival, first morning light spilling over the peaks, then days spent wandering, golden trails crisscrossing ancient mountains, curiosity as our guide, paths to hidden meadows, paths to breathtaking vistas. As daylight fades, we move indoors, evenings for stories, gathered around a crackling fire. We will share tales, old family anecdotes passed down, new stories born here in the village, firelight dancing on faces, true magic revealed. Magic found not in grand gestures, but in shared whispers. A quiet promise to the mountains, traveling with a lighter touch, exploring sustainable family choices, taking the train, packing reusable water bottles, mindful travel deepening the experience, being guests, not just visitors. The final thread, a gentle lesson to love by protecting, ensuring whispers and golden trails remain for generations. The final turn of the road brought us into the village just as the sun climbed above the highest mountain peak. It was a gentle arrival, almost silent. Mist still clung to the low-lying meadows, a soft white blanket. The air itself seemed different here. It was crisp and clean, carrying the faint, sweet scent of damp earth and pine needles. We stepped out of the car, and the world seemed to slow down. The silence was not empty. It was filled with the gentle sounds of a world waking up. A soft chime drifted towards us on the breeze. It was the sound of cowbells, a distant, melodic music that is the very soul of the Alps. They were calm, unhurried creatures, their bells a constant, gentle rhythm. My youngest grandchild, Lily, stood perfectly still, her head tilted, listening with wide-eyed wonder. She had never heard such a sound outside of a storybook. High above us, the first cable car of the day began its slow ascent. It moved with a steady, graceful slowness, a silent metal bird climbing towards the sunlit peaks. It spoke of simple comforts and the start of a new day in this quiet corner of the world. In that single column of smoke, we felt a deep sense of peace and belonging. We were not just visitors here. For a little while, we were part of this slow, gentle rhythm of life. We found our chalet nestled at the edge of the village, its dark wood weathered by countless seasons. The front door opened with a satisfying click, revealing a space that felt immediately like home. It was simple and warm, filled with the character of a place that has seen many families gather within its walls. The air inside was cool and still, holding the scent of beeswax and dried herbs. The children explored each room with a sense of wonder, their small hands tracing the carved patterns on the wooden furniture. They discovered the heavy woolen blankets folded at the foot of each bed and the smooth, cool stones of the fireplace. I stepped out onto the balcony, my hands resting on the smooth, worn railing. The view was breathtaking. It looked out over the entire valley, a patchwork of golden forests and green meadows stretching out below. I took a deep breath, filling my lungs with the crisp mountain air. It felt like I was breathing in the very essence of the Alps. From the kitchen, the smell of fresh bread began to drift out. My wife had found a loaf from the village bakery, still warm from the oven. The taste was wholesome and rich, the crust a perfect crunch. We sat together, sharing the warm bread, the quiet sounds of our family a soft counterpoint to the immense silence of the mountains outside. We watched from our balcony, mugs of warm tea cradled in our hands. It was a shared, unspoken ritual to witness the arrival of the day together. You know, I began softly. The first time I saw a cow up close, I was about your age. My own grandfather brought me here. I remember thinking it was the biggest animal in the world. I was a little bit scared, but also fascinated. Sharing this simple memory with Leo, watching him listen intently, felt like passing on a small, precious inheritance, a story that was now his to keep. We have become a family, present and connected, ready to embrace the quiet wonders that the day has in store for us. The day called us outdoors, into the heart of the golden landscape. Our first destination was the sky. With a gentle lurch, we began to move. The ascent was slow and silent, a graceful climb away from the village. The chalets grew smaller below us, their wooden roofs becoming tiny squares in a patchwork of green and gold. The children pressed their faces to the glass, their breath fogging the cold surface. They were speechless, captivated by the sheer scale of the world unfolding around them. We rose above the tree line. The peaks, which had seemed distant from the valley, were now our neighbors. Stepping out onto the platform was like stepping onto the roof of the world. We had allowed the mountain to lift us, and in its slow embrace, we had found a new sense of peace. From the high station, a well-marked path led us along a wide ridge. We found a long, flat stone wall warmed by the midday sun and decided it was the perfect spot for our lunch. He put a finger to his lips, then cupped his hands and took a deep breath. He let out a low, resonant call. My father-in-law smiled and whispered, "Listen, sometimes, if you are quiet and lucky, the mountains answer." And then we heard it. Faintly, from a distant ridge across the valley, came an echo, the sound of a real alpine horn, a call and response across miles, a secret conversation between people and peaks. That moment was pure magic, a whisper from the soul of the Alps we would carry always. Our walk took us back down into the valley. We stumbled upon a small, informal market set up in a tiny village square. A man with gentle eyes and work-worn hands was using a small knife to put the finishing touches on a little ibex. We chose a small, smooth cow, its bell carefully painted gold, as a souvenir. It was a piece of the mountain, a tangible memory. By choosing to buy local food, we were not only enjoying the freshest, most delicious flavors, but we were also reducing the environmental cost of our meal. It was another small, sustainable choice, another quiet promise kept. As the afternoon began to wane, we found ourselves in a vast, high meadow. The light started changing. Golden hour. We lay back, heads on the grass, and watched the light shift. The purpose of this moment was just to be. Golden larches on the opposite slope glowed like fire. A slow, silent symphony of color. We watched. In this moment of shared stillness, I felt overwhelming gratitude. For my family. For this incredible beauty. For the slowness that let us truly see. The last sliver of sun dipped behind the mountain. Our day of wandering was ending. Time to head back to the warmth of the chalet. Lights began to appear in the windows of the chalets, small, warm squares of yellow scattered across the dark hillside. Stepping inside the chalet was like entering a cocoon of warmth and comfort. I went to the stone fireplace. The strike of the match, the first small flicker of flame. Soon, a healthy fire was crackling and spitting, sending waves of heat into the room. A simple dinner, hearty vegetable stew. This simple, nourishing meal felt like the most luxurious feast in the world. After dinner, with the plates cleared away, we moved closer to the fire. It was time for stories. He spoke of a time when the villages were even more isolated. His story was about a baker who, during a particularly harsh snowstorm, ran out of firewood. But the village herdsmen gathered other villagers, and they each brought a few logs from their own precious stores, leaving a large pile outside the baker's door before dawn. It was about community, about looking out for one another without needing to be asked. "I'd like to make a toast," I said softly, "to this moment, to the warmth of this fire and the warmth in this room, to family, and to the mountains, for their silence and their stories, for reminding us what truly matters." "Grandpa," she said, her voice sleepy, "I want to bring logs to the baker when I grow up." The story had found a home in her heart. The final morning arrived with a quiet grace, a mirror image of our first. The sun once again spilled over the high peaks, but this time it was a light of farewell. We were leaving with more than just photographs. We carried the invisible, weightless treasure of new memories. As the car began its slow climb out of the valley, we looked back at the village nestled peacefully below. The mountains had shared their silence, the forests their golden light, the village its quiet wisdom. As we drive away, the image of the starlit bridge over the foggy valley comes to mind. It represents a crossing, from a world of noise to a world of whispers. We will continue to choose the train when we can, to carry our reusable bottles, to support local communities wherever we go. These are not burdens, but joyful acts of gratitude. As we journey homeward, a quiet benediction settles upon us. It is a feeling of deep peace, a perfect harmony of family memory, the enduring beauty of nature, and the profound satisfaction of mindful travel. The whispers of the Alps will echo in our hearts for a long, long time to come.